Hello, welcome to my channel. I am Laura. Today we are doing a reading that just would not leave me alone. It came through and I was like, okay, I've got to sit down and do it. I don't actually know it was going to come through the piles, but I saw it at the end. I saw myself posting this. I saw the title. I saw the views. I saw the messages. Like I saw the end of it, which was really interesting. So this is for anyone who has been single their entire life, okay? This is for anyone who feels like no matter what they do, they are just not the person who gets the love story, even though they are such a romantic, even though they love so much. They just never seem to get that romantic love for themselves. But they love themselves so deeply, and it's just sort of like, where's my person? Like, where is my person? That's what this reading is. This is the single forever, where's my person, now is the time. Because that's what I'm getting, is now is the time for you and your person to come together. So we have 3 piles. If you have never done a pick a card before, just pause the video or take a moment, or maybe you already know this is pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Choose whichever one feels best for you. Sometimes I say that you can choose more than one. If you really feel called to it, go ahead. But I do feel like each message is going to be very different. So just choose the one that draws to you the most. Yeah, just take a moment, just breathe. And then when you're ready, the timestamps will be down below in the description and you'll be able to jump to whichever pile that you want. Please leave a message, a comment, and just let me know how this resonated for you. Let me know just let me know if it resonated, or the likes or the shares. They really help support me and the channel, and getting these messages out there. So I think that's everything. I feel like these are missing a card. I feel like they need one more something. And then we can begin. I don't know why I'm nervous. I've done these before. Why am I nervous? But for whatever reason, there's sort of this nervous but excited energy that I'm already picking up on from all 3 of the piles, of this thing of you know that it's the time. You know that this is, something's changing. You know it. And you're like, okay, what is this? What is changing? What's happening? All right, here we go. 1. Okay, I feel like you get 2. I was going to do 1, 2, 3, but I only pulled 2. All right, apparently everybody's getting 2 today. All right. All right, there we go. Okay, final time. Last little, take a glance, take a look, see what calls to you. And I will see you in a second. Okay, thank you. Mwah. All right, pile 1. This is the beginning of your pile. Let's see what is going on here. This is your been single forever love reading, but now is the time. So to start us off, we have I would fuck me. Yep. And then we have I exclude sexual energy. I love it. Okay. Then we also have the ancestor. All right. And we also have abundance. Okay. So right away, I'm picking up that this is your energy that we're picking up so far. And this is very much that energy of, yeah, I would fuck me. I exclude sexual energy. You're very attractive. And that doesn't mean that you have to be in the best shape or anything like that. But I do feel like a lot of you are in amazing shape. But you love your body. You love yourself. You love your energy. You love your soul. You love you. You really do love yourself. And you're sort of okay, I'm fucking hot. You're I am gorgeous. I'm amazing. Why am I single? And people always say this to you. I feel like you get this where people are oh, but you're so attractive. Why are you single? And you're because nobody ever asks me out. Nobody ever makes a move. I never meet people that I'm interested in. I never see people that I would want to date. And maybe you've tried dating apps, but you're just nah, they're just not for you. You're just kind of no, not that you want to meet someone the old fashioned way, but you're kind of no, you have to have chemistry with your person. You have to have something that interests you in that person beyond just sexual energy. And you find that a lot of the people that approach you, they're only interested in your sexual energy. And you're like, no, like, I want the romance. I want the love. I want the best friend and a partner. You're like, I want you want everything and more. And people are usually only approaching you maybe for hookups, or maybe it's like the person on the side, or like to join in. And you're like, no, like, I want like my person. And this is just like, it's funny because we have this abundance card, and I'm almost like, there is an abundance of people who are interested in you, but you don't see them. Okay? Like, you don't see them. Like, you could literally have a lineup out the door, and unless your person was in that line, you wouldn't see that there's even a line there. You would walk right by the line, and you could be turning all these heads, and your friends beside you would be like, oh my God, that whole lineup was staring at you, and you're like, wait, what line? Like, there's such an interesting energy here that I'm laughing with, where you're just kind of oblivious to like the offers that are being made to you. Like, unless it's really spelt out for you, unless someone's like, I want to date you, I want to marry you, I want to go on a date with you, I want to be your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your partner, you think that they're friendly, like, because you're friendly. And this is so funny because this is so much my energy. I literally just like checked in with myself. I'm like, am I just reading me? And it's like, nope, this isn't for you. So this is for you, not for me, even though I'm massively resonating with this. I just had some coffee. This is hilarious. Actually, that's the super funny thing too, is yeah, you have this kind of like, with this ancestor card here, there's a couple different messages coming through. Like, so you're deeply protected by your ancestors. I also feel like there's like, feminine, I can't even speak, feminine ancestors, whether that be grandmothers, aunts, really funny. I'm hearing your future daughter. So whether you're like, wherever you fall on the spectrum of whether you're attracted to men, you're attracted to women, you're attracted to everyone, whether you're male, female, trans, anything like that. For whatever reason, I feel like you're having a daughter. Okay. So even if you're like, oh, like I can't have a daughter, like, I don't have those parts. That's okay. Like, apparently you're getting a daughter. If you want a kid, if you don't want a kid, skip over this. But I do feel like there's a future daughter that is protecting you. And she's like, nope, not yet. Not yet. I also feel like for some of you, it is adoption, that you would be adopting someone. But it's so funny because it's like, yeah, there's like past ancestors that are protecting you and like pulling people out of your way when they're not meant for you. But there's also like future ancestors that are coming through that are like, no, like that's not the plan that we made, which is so funny. So that's one of the messages. There's also this message here with the ancestor card of, I just lost it. I'll come back to this, because there was a couple of them and I just lost it. Moving over to the abundance, I do feel like you might be more focused on your finances right now. Okay. You might sort of be like, oh, there's also this belief system here with, that you feel like you can't have true love, until your finances are in order. And that's just a belief system. You can completely let that go. There is nothing that you have to be besides yourself to receive true love, okay? But there's a message here that somewhere in childhood, or like the predominant partner in your parents' partnership, or your like your guardians, or like the people who watched over you, there was something around money and love, and sort of this belief system of like you can have money or love, or like you can't have love until you have money, or that money isn't true, or like love isn't true if there's money. There's something to do with your beliefs around money and like abundance and love, and there's something there. So like, do the deep work, dive into it, book a session with me, we can dive into that deeper. But like, there's something going on with your beliefs about having money or having finances or having support. Oh, okay, you definitely want to come out. That's hilarious. Self-worth just popped out of the deck. So yeah, this may even not be like, this may also be, because again, this is a group reading, so sometimes I get inundated with a bunch of messages because there's a bunch of different people's energies. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But there's also this thing here about where the abundance is actually not just talking about like financial security or like material security, but like your self-worth, like an abundance of self-worth, and in places where you're not seeing like, you may think that, like, your body's beautiful, or you may be like, oh, like, my sexual energy is beautiful, but, like, there's something going on where you're like, no, like, there's parts of you that you don't see as worthy, okay? And it's really funny because it's coming up as the word beautiful, but I'm not just talking about, like, the physical attributes of beauty. I'm talking about your soul. I'm talking about everything. So I feel like there might be some stuff, too, that you're healing for your ancestors, like some stuff from, like, when you were younger as a child, that you think that you went through as a way to break the cycle. But you I don't like how this message is coming through. I don't like this languaging, but I'm going to say it because that's how it's coming through. So there's no judgment on this. Okay, you are beautiful, you are worthy, you are whole. The message is coming through that there's something in your past that you think it tarnishes you, or it makes you dirty, or it's something that you could never love about yourself. So how could anybody else love you for it? That's what you're being called to heal right now. That's what you're being called to release and let go of, and realize that you are so innately worthy. Okay, this is so funny, but, like, this is you, like, this cave of abundance, this beautiful, like, this all these treasures, that is you. You are the treasure. Your soul is the treasure. Your life, your life force, like, who you are beyond what has happened to you, beyond the job that you have, the school that you went to, or the friends that you have, the family that you were born into, beyond all of that, you are worthy. So it's like, no matter what, you are worthy. No matter what you go through, you are worthy. And this is so funny because this is like a mirror, but it's like, yeah, go look in the mirror. Find yourself a mirror. Go look in the mirror and say to yourself, I am abundant. I am worthy. It is my birthright to be loved. I am here to share love with the world. I am here to break generational curses and set my family and my lineage free, and to set myself free, above all else, to set myself free and receive the love that I deserve, because I deserve love. And if you want, you can throw in the I would fuck me and I exclude sexual energy, because those also might be things that you need to work on. Although, again, group reading, some of you are really in that energy and some of you are very much pushing that energy away. And there's also some fear here that people are only interested in you for sex. And again, you want that true love. Okay, yeah, so you've got passion. So you do have a lot of this passionate energy. You do have a lot of this, like, you want a passionate love affair that lasts your entire life. That's what I'm picking up here. Or multiple love affairs, but you want something that lasts. You want something that's meaningful. You want something that's yours. That's what's really, really coming through here. Yeah, you want something that's yours, and it's like, it is yours. It's already yours. It's always been yours. Okay, yeah, and you've got strings. So this is really interesting, because there's definitely this thing of, okay, there was gonna be a different message here about someone else is pulling your strings, or there's something going on. But no, this is really funny. You know that, like, saying of, like, no strings attached? I think that's the type of relationships that you've always had. They've been very, very passionate, but it's always sort of been that, like, situationship or that flirtationship, or that never really gets finalized. Like, you might have had lovers, you might have had partners, but I feel like you've never had, like, the boyfriend or the girlfriend, or like the partner. You've always sort of had that situationship, that flirtationship. Maybe it's gotten sexual, maybe it hasn't, but, like, it's always sort of been that thing where there's no labels, there's no strings attached. And you're at that point where you're like, unless there's strings attached, you don't want it. You don't want that easygoing, like, that's so funny, emotional freedom. It's like, no, okay, so this is so funny, and I think this is why this is all coming up like this. On one hand, you're like, no, I want all the strings attached. On the other hand, you're like, I want that emotional freedom. I want to work on my finances. I am the prize. I am the treasure. It's almost like you're like, nobody's worthy of me. But it's like there are people out there, and the actual belief system or the defense mechanism of no one's worthy of me. No one puts in the time. No one's willing to get to know me. No, oh my God, that's a lot. That's way too many cards. That was like half the freaking deck. We're not doing that. We're shuffling again. The belief system that nobody is worthy of you is actually a defense mechanism so that you're not vulnerable and you don't get hurt. You're keeping things on this surface level or just completely ignoring people in general because that keeps you safe. You can't let anybody in. You have emotional freedom. You're free to go where you like. You're free to do what you want. Your time is your time. But really, if you get deep down into the layers of how things are, you want that true love. You want that. It's funny because I'm getting this like, this is so funny. This is like, there's so much like coming through here, but you want that all-consuming love, but you're putting up these boundaries because you think that it will keep you protected, and you don't want the toxic love. That's it. You don't want to be in a toxic, unhealthy relationship. You've done that before. And I think you've done that for most of your life. You've had codependent relationships. You've had relationships with parents. You've had relationships with others, like friends, family, that are very, very codependent and very, very, where boundaries were disrespected, where boundaries were just not, they weren't honored. Your boundaries were not held up. Your boundaries were not honored. You felt really, really used. So you've put up a lot of boundaries, and those boundaries are actually pushing everything away. It's pushing your abundance away. It's pushing your emotional happiness away. It's pushing all of it away, which is so interesting because on one hand, you're like, no, I'm good. I've got this. And then on the other hand, you're like, you're starving for this relationship. Yeah, you're manifesting this relationship all the time. Like, this is so funny. I'm so deeply resonating with this. I'm almost like, okay, this is not a reading for anybody else. This is a reading for me. But I keep getting, this is not a reading for me. This is a reading for other people. So we'll just keep rolling with it. But like, you are manifesting a relationship, but every single time it gets close to you, you throw up these defense mechanisms and these things of like, no, stay away from me. Okay? There is a rising happening in you. There is heart healing happening in you. This partner that's going to come into your life, you're going to know that they're your partner because you're going to be going through a lot of healing with them. You have always done healing as a solitary effort, something that you do by yourself, something that you do alone, something that you do for others. This is something where you have always, it's almost this thing of like, you'll meet someone, you'll think that they're amazing. You're like, this is the most incredible person I've ever met before. And then they'll go and like right after you, whether you date or you don't date, you break up or whatever, like immediately after you, or while they're still with you, they go and they meet the love of their life. And you're like, wait, what the fuck? Like, what? Excuse me? Like, no, they were supposed to be my person, not, but it's you are a catalyst. You are healing people for them. Like, people meet you and they heal. And you're like, wait a second, where's my person that I heal with? Because you're always going through all the stuff, like you're going through all the healing, and the other person seems to get all the benefits, okay? So, you're also, like, this is all part of your path, this is all part of your purpose, but it's fucking annoying. It's fucking annoying. As someone who does that too, it's really annoying. Again, I keep saying, I'm like, is this reading for me? And like my higher self, my reading person, the little voice in my head that's like, when a reading's for me, it tells me this is like, no, this reading is not for you. But I'm like, damn, this resonates. But it's also like me a few years back. So anyways, you have got the Lover. Okay, again, this is you. You are the lover, but your lover is also the lover. Your lover is a mirror image of you, and they are bringing forth you to you. Okay, so the person that you have always been, they have always been to other people. Okay, you're like, yeah, you've got the mystic and you've got the ruler. I love this. Okay, this is where the two of you will be when you are together, and this is your partner. So you are the lover, they are the ruler, and together you create the mystic. What does that mean? You have this energy and this frequency of love, okay? And you love wildly and freely, but you have also been hurt. You have been so hurt in your life. Like, you have dealt with so much heartbreak, whether that's from friends or family or even pets. Like, this is like you, when you love true and you love deep. And yeah, sometimes it can be unhealthy, but you're healing that. You're learning from that. You are changing that. You are addressing that. You are moving beyond that. But you are a lover. Like, that is your archetype through and through. And there is something very, very old and very, very ancient about the way that you love. Okay? Oh, that's so funny. I didn't even realize this was 24, 25, 26. That's hilarious. Anyways. What number are you? 9. Okay. I swear I shuffle these decks. Anyways, the way that you love is this very, very like ancient, this is so funny, and this may make sense or this may not make sense, but again, it's coming through, so I'm letting it go. If you read fan fiction, there's like this trope in fan fiction where, and like, I'm sure it's in fiction too, but I feel like it shows up a lot in fan fiction. It's like the soulmate trope, right? And it's sort of this like idea of like every person like living in a universe or living in a world where everybody has like a soulmate mark. So like you might have like your soulmate's name written on you, or you might have like their handprint, or like different things like that. It's like this thing, and people write stories about it. It's super fun. Anyways, that's the type of love that you have, except for we don't have a super clear signal of like, oh, I have your fingerprint on my arm, so I know that you're my soulmate in this world that we live in right now. But that is the type of love that you have. That is the type of love that you are searching for, and that's why it's so hard to find it, because a lot of people aren't that deep. They're not there yet. They're not ready for that yet. They're not ready for that love where it's kind of like, you're it for me. Like, you're my person. Like, you're my soulmate. Like, people aren't ready for that. But your partner is. Your partner is going through their own healing. Your partner is going through their own journey. Your partner mirrors you so well, okay? They are the mirror image, mirror reflection of you, which is also why I think it's taken you guys so long to come together, okay? It has taken you so long because you're both going through so much healing, so much learning, so much boundary work, emotional work, energy work. Like, you wanted to be prepared for when your partner showed up, both of you, okay? And again, this is something where like both of you are very, very attractive, okay? Both of you, like this over here, this energy of like, I exclude sexual energy, I would fuck me, like that's both of you, okay? Like this whole reading, you could literally both be watching this reading right now and be like, oh my God, that's me, where's my partner? Oh my God, that's me, where's my partner? Right? Like, it's like you're literally both mirroring each other so much, but it's like when you stop looking, they stop looking. Okay? When they decide to hide out in their room, you decide to hide out in your room. So you're both like sitting in your rooms being like, oh my God, where's my partner? I love them so much. I see them in my dreams. I hear them in my head. Why don't they just come knock on my door? I'm just going to go watch another episode of Netflix. I'm just going to go read a book. I'm going to go watch a reading on YouTube. Like, I'm sorry, I'm kind of like, but like, do you get it? Like, okay, or it's like, oh, I just met someone. Oh, I just met someone. I don't really think they're my person. Yeah, they're definitely not my person. Okay, back into hibernation. Okay? Like, you're waiting for them, they're waiting for you, and you're both just standing over here. Okay? Again, you're mirroring each other. So when you lean away, they lean away. When you lean together, they lean together. So if you're with someone and when you lean forward, they lean back, that's not your partner. Okay? Like, you guys will be like, it will be the same thing. You will be mirroring each other. Okay? Not doing the opposite of each other. Doing the same thing. Okay? Like, sorry. Did that make sense? Like, that's just what I'm getting. So this thing is like, okay, bringing it together. You guys are both highly psychic. I sort of teased it in my little like skit here that I was doing. But you guys are probably meeting each other in the dream realm. Okay? You guys are, you have been meeting your partner in the astral planes forever. Like forever, which is also why it's so annoying, because on one hand you're like, yeah, like I meet with my partner every night, and it's like, yeah, but they're not here. And it's like, what? Why not? Why not? So yeah, love is all around you, okay? There is love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this as truth. So something that I would really invite you to start looking at and to start doing is focusing, and oh my god, I feel like I can hear you all in my head right now going, I already do that! Sorry, my voices get funny sometimes. Not that you sound like that, but you know, anyways. So, oh, this is hilarious. I'm sorry, I'm laughing, because it's just like, yeah, like you're literally going to leave a comment being like, I already do that! Please leave a comment if that is you, if you're like, I already do that. Yeah, a matter of the heart. Okay, this is like, you're gonna hate this. I'm sorry. You hate this. You're gonna hate this. Some of you, not all of you. You need to get out more. And as someone who is a complete introvert hermit, stays in her house all the time, like puts videos on YouTube and doesn't go outside, I'm not one to talk. But you need to go out in the world. Go for walks. Go to a coffee shop. Even if you're like, I don't drink coffee, go to a coffee shop. Maybe, again, what is that noise? I'm sorry, that was so weird, but something like not outside, something like in my immediate thing just sounded like train tracks. It was like making this like vibrating weird noise, and I'm like, I don't know what that is, because my cat is sleeping, she's good, she's not bothering me. That was so weird. What is that noise? Doesn't matter. Apparently it's part of your reading, because that noise has never happened before. But you need to really become aware of what you do, your partner is also doing. Okay? You guys are the mirror image of each other. You lean away, they lean away. You lean forward, they lean forward. Okay? You heal your heart, they're going through heart healing at the same time. You go out searching for them, they will go out searching for you. And you guys will find each other. Okay? I know it's super vague. I know it's super annoying. If you want another video of like, how do we do that? I don't know if I can tell you that, but we can ask and we can see. There is so much. I love this message here, and I love that this is number 22. 22 is a big number for me. So whenever it pops up in a reading, I feel like it's a good thing. The heart of the matter, okay? There is more going on than meets the eye, okay? There is so much happening that you can't see yet. There's also this opening of energy. Hold on, my camera's going to cut off. Hold on. Okay, we're back. There's this opening of energy that has happened. Whenever you're reading this, it has already started. But right now, as I am making this reading, as I am tuning into this energy, and whenever you watch this, it's happening for you. But there's this opening, this blooming, if we want to go with the rose metaphor, this blooming, this unfurling, this opening where all the unseen blocks and boundaries and the things that were holding you back, it's like they've just been wiped off. Like they've just been wiped off the whole slate. Like the whole slate's been wiped clean. Okay? The magic is returning. That's what's coming through. The magic is returning. So the world wasn't ready for you and your partner yet. Okay, this is like a big, big reading, but the love that you and your partner are bringing to the world wasn't ready for it yet. So all the other things, like there's so many little tiny like threads of fate that are being weaved all the time, okay? There's so many little tiny details. So it's not always that you have a block. It's sometimes that on like a world level, there's a block. Think of electricity, okay? If you walked up to a caveman and said, yo, here's electricity, the world was not at a place where they were ready for electricity in caveman days. They had to wait a couple 100,000 or however, I don't know what the timing was. The timing of whenever. And then electricity showed up when the world was ready for electricity. That is you and your partner. You are going to be introducing this new way of living, this new way of being, this new way of seeing. And that's also why you got the mystic, because you both are very, very psychic. You both are very, very in tune with the workings of the universe. You are being asked to, even while you are not in partnership, be true. Okay? Be true to you. Be authentic. Be real. Be true to yourself. Be really, really, march to the beat of your own drum. There's this little guy here playing a flute. But it's like march to the beat of your own drum. You may not, there's a lot of people around you who, they're not ready for you. They're not ready for what you have to offer. And that can be very, very discouraging. That can be very, very, disappointing. That can be very hurtful. Really, really discouraging when people don't understand you, when people don't see you, when people aren't ready for you. It can make you feel like there's something wrong with you. It can make you feel like you need to change. And this is a reminder of don't. Obviously continue changing, continue healing and all that kind of stuff. But don't compromise yourself or your values. Don't settle into a situation just because other people are forcing that situation on you. Okay. Yeah. Don't settle just because you want to settle down. Don't compromise who you are, because there's this I don't like doing warnings. I'm not a big like, oh my god, this is going to go terribly wrong. But there is this message here that wants to be delivered where there was some movie. Movie tropes. I don't know what the movie was called. I'm sure there's several of these movies. But you know those movies where like two best friends make a pact, like, oh, if we're single by the time we're 30, we'll get married. And I don't actually remember any of the plots beyond that point. But there's this message that's coming through here of like, you're sort of like, well, you know what? If I haven't found my partner by the time I'm 30, by the time I'm 18, by the time I'm 25, by the time I'm 50, by the time I'm 40, by the time I'm whatever, I'll just marry this person, or I'll just date this person until my person shows up or whatever, right? Or this idea of like whatever. But there's sort of this thing of like, this little voice in the back of your head is like, oh, just maybe this person that you know is not your person. Maybe they are. Maybe they are. Maybe we've just never given them the chance. Okay? And I feel like people around you are like, oh, just give them a chance. Like, love isn't just like, it's not love at first sight. Like, you have to like build love. And that's totally true. I totally agree with that. But I also agree with the knowing, the inner knowing that you're like, that's not my person. But everybody's sort of like pushing you towards or pushing you to date, or sort of like, oh, like you're too picky and that's why you're single. No, you are single because your person's not in front of you. Okay? So there's this message here of don't settle down. Don't get married to the person that you know is not your person just because they're the only person that's around you right now. Because there is this vision that keeps showing up in my head of like you marrying that person and then like the very next day meeting your person and being like, fuck, I just got married. Like, where were you 2 weeks ago? Why didn't you stand up in the, like, speak now, say something, like, why didn't you show up before? But again, so it's these things, but it's like, don't settle down. Like, don't settle just because you want to settle down. You've also got this beautiful image of honesty is essential, speak with love and truth. And you've got this offer coming through, right? Like, you've got, your back is turned. Like, you're not seeing. And if you're watching this and you're not female, it doesn't matter. This is just how it's presenting. Like, just fill in whatever you look like here. But this is you. This is how it's being told to me. This is you, and your back is turned. You're not seeing some of the offers, okay? Now, the reason you're not seeing it is because they're hidden, okay? I get a lot of sense of this is a dream realm thing. Like, I do feel like you guys meet in dreamscapes and dream realms and astral realms and all of that. And they're bringing you this offering, right? Like, you've got little Cupid there, but you don't see it yet. Okay, you don't see it yet because there is something that is still asking you, or that you are still being, how do you want to be said? You are still hiding. Okay, you are still hiding from others. You are still hiding from yourself. You are hiding. And your soul, I was going to say I invite you, but really I don't care. You can do whatever you want. Your soul is inviting you to look at why you're hiding, to look at where you feel vulnerable and where you feel like you can't, where you can't do something, or you can't be something, or you can't be loved. Like, why do you feel that way? Why do you think that? Like, why is that coming through? And start looking at that and addressing that. I am the love of my life. Okay, that's your final message. And you are the love of your life, but you are also allowed to receive love outside of yourself. You are allowed to receive that partner of your dreams. You are allowed to have that fairy tale romance. You are allowed to have that all-encompassing love that is healthy and supportive and nurturing and abundant. You are allowed to have money and safety and the job or no job. Like, you are allowed to have what you want. Okay? Honesty is essential because you need to get really, really clear on what you want. Okay? Do you want to have the Fortune 500 company job and the partner? No? Okay. Do you want to be famous and have the partner? No? Okay. Do you want to be a stay-at-home mom? No? Okay. Do you want to travel the world with your partner? Like, just whatever it is, take a look at where you are feeling shame, or, oh, I can't have that. Oh, that's impossible. Take a look at that, because that's where your actual true desire is in the center of it all, okay? And that's what's blooming, that's what's unfurling, that's the authentic self that you need to tap into. That's the honesty that you need to have, is like, yeah, do you want that fairy tale prince who comes and sweeps you off your feet, or princess, or king, or queen? Like, they had the ruler, remember? Like, they have that royalty energy about them. They are willing to show up on a white horse, but you have to let them. And if right now you are carrying a belief system that that's not possible, again, that is going to hold them away. But the slate is being wiped clean. So don't bring back the baggage and the damage from the past. Don't bring back the old hurt. Let it be clean. Let it be new. Let yourself be set free, and let yourself find your partner, because now is that time. Okay, that is your message, pile one. Please let me know how this resonates in the comments. If you want to do any of the deeper, like, uncovering soul work, the clearings, the releasing, the shifting, all of that, that is my specialty. I will hopefully have links down below of where to book sessions, but you can always message me and we can talk about it and discuss it and see if we are a right fit for each other. I love you. Like, follow, it really does help. And if you have anyone that you think that you want to share this with or would benefit from it, please share it with them. I deeply appreciate it. I do a little happy dance every time I get comments. It's so fun. And yeah, just thank you so much for being here, and I will talk to you later. Mwah. Bye. All right, my pile twos, how are you? Hello. Whew. All right, I'm gonna have a sip of coffee. Pile one was a big one. I'm very, very curious to see what's going to happen in pile 2. Okay, let's take a look. So starting us off, this is hilarious. Starting us off, we have I am an exceptional shag. Okay? You have I am so turned on by my whole life. And you have got I ooze love and affection. Okay? So let's just dive into the rest of it. You have got, I love this card so much. You have got the Alchemist, okay? And you have got dating. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so this is really interesting because right here with this one I heard, I'm the creator of my own life and I'm not sitting around and waiting. So yeah, you're the alchemist. You are the creator of your life. You are creating change. You are creating difference. Like you're going out on dates. You have taken charge and you're like, yo, I'm not being single anymore. Like, I'm finding someone. Like, they're bringing me flowers. They're showing up. Like, and if you want, like, you're showing up. You're bringing flowers. Like, you're like, this is it. You're like, this is my time. And you're no longer waiting. That's so interesting. Yeah. And you've also, yeah. Okay. I love this so much. Okay. There's so much going on here. Hold on. Okay. So you've got the alchemist, you've got dating, you've got the garden. You've got, I'm an exceptional shag. I am so turned on by my whole life. I ooze love and affection. And that's what this is showing up with this garden picture here. Okay. I just want to bring this closer to you because I think that this is so stunning. That's you. Okay. That's you. That's your partner. They're right behind the trees. They're just hanging out. Or not, who knows? I don't know, but you are in such a state of overflow and abundance and love, and you are cultivating and you are creating this life of your dreams. Like this here, like you are so turned on by your life, like that is it. You are so in love with your life. Like, you know that like that trend that's going around of like romanticize your life? Like, you've done that. You have been the king, the queen, the whatever of it. Like, you have been the master of that for so long, okay? Or maybe it's new, but I do feel like for most of you, it is something that's really, really long. And yeah, okay, forgiveness. We're just going to pop you right there. This has been happening for a while. Like, you know how to cultivate your own inner state. You know how to self-source your love, okay? This is why you ooze love and you ooze affection. And you're not caught up in this like, oh, why doesn't anybody love me? Like, you're not in victimhood at all. I would just like to point that out. You are very much in that, like, I just haven't found my person and I'm cool with it. Like, you're just going to keep going. You're going to go on dates. You're going to have fun. You're going to, you are very much having that thing of like, you know what? I love me. And that's the main thing. Like, it's so funny. There's a card in this deck that says I am the love of my own life. It was taken by pile 1, but if it wasn't, it would have come out here because that's very much your state of mind. Your frequency is like, I am the love of my own life and everybody else is extra. And yeah, I don't know why you're watching this reading because I'm like, no, you are literally oozing love. Okay, so you have got, consider your foundation, look at how committed to the love you are, and demonstrate love. Find out what is important to those you love and act on it. Okay, this is actually really interesting because everything just unfolded. So, I feel like there might be someone from your past coming forward, which is where this forgiveness card comes up because they might not have been ready for you before because you are a force. You are a force to be reckoned with, and I don't think they were ready for that when they first met you. So if there's someone that you need to forgive, if it's unhealthy, stay away. But like, if they're actually like, you're like, you know what? No, like you've changed, like you've grown, you've done your healing, like you're ready. Like they're showing up, they're giving you an offer. But there's almost this really interesting energy coming through here. Oh, that's so funny. You've got the gardener on the bottom. So you had the gardener and the garden. That's really funny. I like that. So, okay, how do I say this? I almost feel like you've sort of unconsciously gotten to this place where you're taking control of your life. You're creating your life. You're alchemizing your life. You're making this world. Like, you're oozing love. Like, you're so turned on by your whole life. You're going on all these dates. But there is someone who is giving you a legit offer. Okay? So they don't just want to date you. They don't just want to go on dates with, like, they want to commit to you. And the reason that it's not happening is because you're sort of caught up in this, like, no, like, and I think this is the thing of, like, in the past you were hurt, which is where this forgiveness piece comes in, where you're sort of like, yeah, I'm going to have a roster. I'm going to play the field. I'm going to date multiple people. Like, I'm not going to get tied down. And that's coming from a place of being hurt. Now, if you're polyamorous or something like that, and that's how you are, that's fine. Disregard this or apply it to that. But there's something here where someone wants to give you a foundation. Okay. I'm literally hearing, like, they want to give you the house. They want to give you their last name. Like, they want that fully committed life. But you're still in that, you want to see other people face. Okay? Please don't take offense at me. Please don't get mad at me. If you're like, no, but I'm like, it's not my fault. It's no, but this is a thing of, like, why are you single right now? Or why are you just going on dates and not having a life partner if that's what you're looking for? And it's because when the offer is being presented to you, there's a fear here, and I feel like you're going to be really defensive. I feel like you might even exit out of this video, and if you want to, that's fine, go ahead. But this is what's coming through. I'm sorry, I have no, like, care in the world of, like, what messages come through. I just want the message to be delivered. I have no judgment on you. If you want to date 50 people and everybody is consenting that's okay, that's fine. But the thing is I feel like that's not what you want. And I feel like there's a fear coming up, and I feel like you're going to get very defensive about that fear. But that's okay. And if this reading doesn't resonate, go watch a different reading, or go click a different pile. Or get really, really honest with yourself and see if some part of it is ringing true, because I just keep staring at this card. Okay, I just keep staring at it. And it just keeps pointing out, like, there's a couple here, there's a couple here of the fairies, there's a couple back here, there's the two foxes here, the badgers here, the fairies here, the owls here, like, even the freaking shooting stars have a partner, and even, like, the birds up at the top, like, there's partner. Like, this is the thing, though, is, like, if there's too many partners, and you want that one partner, you gotta let some of the partners go. Okay? I don't know. But that's what's coming through. So you've got the companion. That came out too. Okay, this is for some of you, not all of you. For some of you, the thing that's blocking your love, or the reason that you've been single forever, is because there's no space in your life for anyone else. Now, this might be physical space. This might be family space. This might be that you have a companion. You know that they're not your life partner. You know that they're not your soulmate. You know that they're not the one, but you're not willing to let them go until someone else shows up. But someone else isn't going to show up until that person's gone, right? Like, do you see how this is? It's like, you can't, I already said you're an overflow, but overflow doesn't work for everything, okay? Sometimes it's just flooding, right? Like, if your pipes are overflowing, that's not a good thing. So not everything in moderation, but some things are really good in overflow. Love overflowing, yeah, amazing. Money overflowing, yeah, amazing. Health overflowing, yeah, amazing. But if you have a glass of water and you fill up that glass, and then you keep filling and you keep filling and you keep filling, and it spills over onto the floor, and it sinks through the floor into the basement, and it sinks through the tiles, that's not what you want. You wanted to drink a glass of water, but now the water is running down into the basement. That's not what you wanted. So you need to take a look at where your how does this want to come through? Who is in your life right now that you are holding on to out of fear that no one else will come and replace it? That if you empty that cup will never be refilled again. Okay? That's the cup you need to let go of. That's the one you need to lovingly release into the wild. Okay? Because until you make that space, and it may not be people, you may buy clothes or books, or you may travel. You may travel all around the world, everywhere, and that's why you're dating. You're dating a new person every single city that you go to. Your life is beautiful. You love it. It's gorgeous. But at the end of the day, when you crawl into bed, you're either crawling into bed with someone that you're not really connected to, but they're amazing and they're wonderful and you love it. But you're sort of like, no, like I want someone on these trips with me. Like I want this partner with me. So it's like creating that space for them. And maybe that means settling down for a little bit. Maybe that means staying in one town longer than a week. But there's something here about your foundations that they're not sturdy, they're not steady, they're not compatible with holding a partner. Okay? Does that make sense? And then you've also got demonstrate love. So find out what is important to those you love and act on it, okay? Now, if this is a situation that we were talking about where there's sort of like your companion, but then there's like someone else who is giving you like a love offer, you need to figure out how those people around you want love, okay? You can look up the 5 love languages if you want. You can look into, what's the other one? Sexual blueprints. Is it sexual blueprints? I can't remember. It's very similar to the 5 love languages, but it's how you speak sexually, how you speak sensually. So that's another thing that you can look up. I'll see if I can find a link and drop it down below. But there's find out how you want to be spoken to, how you want to be treated, how you want to receive, and then find out how your partner wants that demonstration of love as well. Okay? Or what you're willing to give in a partnership. Like maybe you're sitting here and you're going, yeah, but I just want a partner that I travel around the world and then I show up at Christmas and they love me and nothing's changed. Okay, that's amazing. Someone's going to be okay with that. But if someone's not okay with that, that's not fair to them either. So like fully consenting that everybody is okay with everything that's going on. Okay? Now this is so funny because I kept getting this like vibe of like you're traveling all the time. So yeah, you're dating because you have all these offers, but then at the end of the day, you're actually single. You have the explorer. So that definitely confirms this energy of whether you're traveling the world and jumping on planes and trains all the time, or you're just traveling around your neighborhood all the time. Like there's this energy of you are often exploring, and you are an explorer at heart. You are meant to travel. You are meant to be like a nomad. Like you're meant to sort of have no roots, which means you have to find someone who vibes with that. You are also a giver, okay? Because you very much you give a lot. And I think that's also where you sometimes like get into trouble, if you want to call it that, because you'll like give and give and give, and then you don't always allow yourself to receive, or you don't actually receive. And there's this sort of like this discernment that you have to start having, especially if it is something where you're constantly traveling, whether it's for work or just like that's your life. But like you have this energy of you're giving things away to people, and you need to start discerning of who do you actually want to give yourself to. This is so funny. I totally forgot that this was here, but I am an exceptional shag. Okay. So yeah, you might have a lot of like sexual partners, but maybe not as many emotional partners as you like, or like those like soul partners as you would like, or you might have like amazing friend groups, but like, again, you're looking for more of that like romantic life partner. You've also got the pioneer over here. And that just connected in with the explorer makes me think of like, yeah, you're roaming through unmarked territory. This is something new for you. This is something that maybe you haven't done before. And again, I said there was someone at the beginning who I kind of feel like is offering you something, and maybe you've never really settled down with anybody, and maybe that really freaks you out. Like maybe that's where this forgiveness piece comes in. Maybe you've got to look at like the people in your life who have made you afraid of commitment, or made you feel like if you have boundaries, or if you have labels, or all this kind of stuff, like it will somehow like cut you off from your freedom. Because I think that's another thing too, is you sort of feel like if you give in to this other person, your freedom will disappear, and that's not true. That can happen. Like that has happened definitely before in people's lifetimes, but like you're not meant, a healthy relationship isn't you changing your entire self for this other person. It's the two of you coming together to co-create a life, okay? You are holding on so strongly to being the creator of your life that you need to look at what it would look like to co-create a life with someone else. Give it a little bit of time. Again, pioneers traveled all across the open plains to find a new home. I feel like that's what you're doing. I feel like that is sort of the energy of what's happening. I also feel like it's going to take a little bit more time. I feel like there's like a part 2 to this, but it's not coming through yet. So if you need that like part 2, or there's like specific questions that are popping up for you, please comment them down below and I will make a follow-up video to this reading, because I do feel like this has something that's coming through. I feel like there's some part of this that needs to be continued, but it's almost like it needs to be that dialogue. I need to like see where you're at, like move that forward, see what the questions are that are arising in you to know where to focus, because I'm sort of getting this like there's something more, but I'm not seeing it yet. Or if you want like a one-on-one session or something to work through these old belief systems or these fears, again, that is my magic, that is my gift, so please reach out and we can definitely set something up. That is everything that I have for you today, pile 2. I feel like this one is, I feel like the group 1 was completely complete. This one, I feel like it's not. I feel like it's a little incomplete, but it's everything that you get right now. Okay, because sometimes we don't get everything at once. Sometimes we get like pieces and packages and parcels of it. This is a piece of it. This is a package of it. If you have follow-up questions, drop them down below and I will definitely make a follow-up video. Because yeah, there's something more coming through here, but it's not coming through just quite yet. I love you. Thank you so much for watching. I am so happy that you are here. If you want to like, comment, or subscribe, I would love that. I love hearing your feedback. I love hearing what resonates, your stories. Yeah, I just love it. So please interact if you feel called to it. I will talk to you later. I will see you later. Mwah. I love you. Bye. Hello, my pile 3s. Whew. All right. Let's get into it. Okay. I am free to explore my desires. That is your first card. You also have the Liberator. And you also have Commitment. Okay. This is interesting. I feel at the very beginning, I said that none of these piles felt like they were going to be connected. I said, just choose one. I said, just choose one pile. None of these feel like they're going to be connected. Well, apparently, we have now gotten to pile 3, and I feel like you're deeply connected to pile 1. You don't have to go watch pile 1, okay? You don't have to. But I just somehow feel like these energies are connected, which is really interesting. Which would also be really interesting, because we talked about mirror images in pile 1, and I almost feel like that was one half, and this is the other half, and like they're the bookends. You know, it makes sense? Okay, anyways. Ignore me. You don't have to go watch pile 1. Pile 1 was super long. You don't have to go watch it. But if you're called to it, go ahead. Okay. This is funny because the title that came through for this video was like, why have you been single forever? Or like something like that, right? I don't know what it was. I came up with it earlier. Or it told it to me earlier. I'm a little all over the place with this one. I'm just going to take a sip of coffee. It's mushroom coffee. It's delicious. Okay. I'm sorry. Why am I so like... I don't know. What's going on? What's going on? It's really funny. I am suddenly so tired. I suddenly have a headache. My eyes just want to be closed. But I know that this isn't mine. This is coming through from the reading. Because it wasn't here a second ago. But it's like really messing with my physical body. But this happens sometimes. So. Okay. All right. Anything standing in the way of this reading being delivered, anything that's preventing me from delivering this reading, anything that's preventing the viewer from hearing, integrating, and releasing anything that needs to be released from this reading or from their energy, their fields, their soul, We allow that to release now. Any blocks or any outside influencing sources that are trying to stop this from coming to fruition, we uncreate and totally destroy you now through all dimensions, all realities, past, present, and future. Thank you. Okay. You are free to explore your desires. Okay. This is so interesting that you have like the Liberator, and yet I felt so contracted and so blocked and so affected right away with this reading. This is so interesting because, yeah, there is so much happening energetically, okay? Like, I almost want to say, like, you're being messed with. Like, your energy is being sabotaged. Like, your energy is being, like, why are you single? Because if you believe that there are outside forces out there who just sometimes like to fuck shit up, like, they're messing with you, like, entities, whatever. Like, there's just some stuff, like, that's just fucking with you. Like, you are extremely powerful because apparently they don't want you and your partner to come together, because apparently if you and your partner come together, it's gonna, like, fuck up the whole world in, like, a really good way, and, like, these negative energies don't want the world to be filled with love. I don't know. That's what's coming through, and I'm like, that's out there. It's not out there. I totally have felt that before. But it's like, sometimes I'm like, that's a little out there for you too. But you know what? The right people will find it. There is this, like... This is so funny. My cat, who has been sleeping this whole time, is now, like, she's perked up and she's, like, staring at me. And I'm like, ooh, protector mode is activated. So anyways, yeah, this is, like, there's some big energy here. Like, this is some big commitment, okay? There is some stuff happening here. Like, this is definitely something where when you and your partner come together, it's going to be earth-shattering. It's going to be world-bending. It's going to be something that changes lives. And I know that might sound like a little, like, out there and a little, like, too crazy and a little too wild and, like, nah, like, what? Like, that sounds weird. But, like, you've got 444 here. It's 4, 45, and 34, but, like, I saw 444 first. Like, this is, like, another 4. Like, this is big. Like, this is something that... Nothing in your life has ever been simple. Nothing in your life has ever been small. You've tried to be small. You've tried to make yourself small and, like, if they can't see me, then they can't hit me, and that can be energetically or physically. And I'm sorry if it was physical, and I'm sorry if it was energetic. But, like, you've sort of had this, like, you have tried to be invisible your entire life. Okay, you have been the hermit. You have been the introvert. You have been the, like. Yeah, it's so funny. The unicorn, this, like, mystical, magical creature that humans just don't understand. That's you. Like, that's you. And you have spent so much of your time, so much of your life hiding out. Like, you've been hiding out at home. Like, you've been reading your books. Like, you've been diving into all the magic of the universe and all the wisdom and all the wonders. And it's this thing of, like, you haven't felt like the world is ready for you. The world hasn't been ready for you, but you've always sort of felt like this outcast. You've always sort of felt like this, like, you're sort of like, when are my people going to show up? When am I going to find others like me? Like, it's almost like you feel like an alien. Or, like, you feel like you were dropped on the wrong planet, and then you might have had a lot of health issues as a kid, or you might have had a lot of problems with receiving with the distorted feminine here. It's actually sort of like, it's funny because this image here and this vibe that's coming through is sort of this, like Ariel and the Little Mermaid, right? Like, she lives in the ocean, but, like, and whether you feel like Eric is her soulmate or not, for the purpose of this analogy, we're just going to say that he's absolutely amazing. For the purpose of this analogy. I have issues with the Little Mermaid. You might have issues with the Little Mermaid, but it's like, I love the Little Mermaid, but it's just like, anyways. But there's this issue, there's this metaphor that's coming through of, like, Ariel lived in the ocean, but her soulmate was on a whole different planet or a whole different realm. Her soulmate was from Earth, not from the sea. So she had to, like, leave her home to go find her true love. She had to leave her magic, right? Like, she was a freaking mermaid. She had to leave her magic to go be with her partner. And there's this energy coming through here that's sort of like that. Like, if you believe in souls, and if you believe in other planets, and you believe that our souls can transcend time and space and travel all over, you and your soulmate were traveling the universe together. And then your soulmate was like, yo, I'm going to come to Earth. So you were like, cool, I'll come with you. But then you got to Earth and you were separated and you were like, wait, what? Like, WTF? What the fuck? Like, huh? Like, where are you? And your partner's off and they're doing their thing and that's fine. But you're like, you're miserable. And I don't say that in like your life sucks, but like your life purpose is love. Like, you were designed to love and be loved and to receive, and you got thrown onto this planet that doesn't really work like that. That isn't constructive like that. It doesn't support that. And that's why you're single, is because sort of like, I feel like very, very early on, you decided to sort of check out of society, to check out of, or you've always worn a mask, or you've always had that sort of, it's funny with like Cerberus, a three-headed dog. I'm seeing it much more of like, you've always had to have multiple sides of you. It's like, who am I when you're at school or when you're at work or when you're at home? Like, you're a different person, okay? There's different sides of you that come out when you feel like it's safe and when you feel like it's not safe. And it's like, there's this message here with the sword too, like, it's time to step up. It's time to like pull your sword out of the stone and like be King Arthur and like rise up and like go after your mission, go after your soulmate. But for so long, you haven't been supported in your journey. Okay, even if you have an amazing family or amazing friends or just you're amazing and you take care of yourself, like, you haven't had that support, that commitment that you really, really long for and you really, really desire. And there's something really, really interesting here if you sort of fall into or believe in or buy into or work with the energies of like the masculine and the feminine, the giving and receiving, the action taking and the flowing, or the structure versus freedom, and not freedom, but just some things are very, very structured and some things are very, very flowing, right? So you've created this life that is very, very structured, okay? It's very, very, it holds everything together, which has caused this distorted feminine of your free energy can't roam and be wild. And that's what you're coming into, is this returning and healing the sense of safety, healing the sense of receivership, healing the sense of being able to follow your desires, to yearn for your desires, to maybe be in states that society have deemed more feminine, that you didn't feel safe to express or to explore as a child or even as an adult, or as a teenager or whatever. Like, you felt like you had to always be what other people wanted. You had to put on these masks. You had to have this hidden sense of self that was only safe to come out by yourself. And this is now what you need to bring forward and share with the world, which will be that liberator, which will be the I am free to express. I am free to explore my desires, but you are free to express your desires too. I don't know if you can see that. But you are free to express and explore your desires. You are free to try again. You are free to try something new. And there's this really interesting message for those of you who really identify with the more feminine aspects. You are allowed to have that safe man in your life if you are seeking a male partner, but apply it to whatever you are looking for. You are allowed to have that pillar of strength, right? Because if you look at both the masculine and the feminine have strengths. I feel like this is also such a heavy, big topic that I'm like, I don't feel like I can dive fully into the way that I would like to in this reading. But if you have issues with your dad or with male figures, society standards of male or society standards of female, these roles that have been put upon you, you are allowed to be liberated from those. You are allowed to decide who you are beyond society's constructs. So you have got compatibility as well. And this is really beautiful. And I really, really like this because this is it, right? This is sort of this like coming together of both. whether that be masculine, feminine, whether that be mother, father, whether that be inner child, future self, whether that be soul and mind, whether that just be like flow and action or play and work, whatever these opposites are that are coming together, it's time for them to come together. It's time for you to meet. I'm hearing like multiple people in your life. This isn't just romance for you. This is like building a community for you, where you're compatible with others, where you find your people, where you find like your soul family, where you find other people that are like you. What's going on? Yeah, you have always been the rescuer, but you've also always wanted to be rescued, which is really, really interesting. And you also have the liberator over here. And to me, a liberator would also be a rescuer. If you're liberating something, it usually means that they're trapped. So it's like, where are you trapping yourself? Where have you been trapped? Where have you been put into a box that no longer works for you or no longer resonates with you? And you're now ready to move beyond those boxes that you were placed in. You've also got the pioneer. And you've also got the loner. And this is part of the distorted feminine, which is funny that I just put that there. So, like I said, you've been in your house. You've been trapped in your house, or you're, you've sort of been in that hermit mode or that isolated mode, and that's that loner mode, right? Like you've always sort of gone it alone, and whether that's because you're afraid that you might get hurt, or you've just never found the people that you really connect with and it was easier to be alone. These are things that you need to look at and really, really start working through and healing, or just deciding, like literally just deciding, like, no, I'm finding my people. My people are finding me. Like we are on the path to meet each other. Because yeah, you have often been the rescuer for a lot of other people, but you also want to be saved. You also want to be rescued. And I know that so many people will say like, oh, like you have to save yourself. But you know what? Yes. To an extent, you are always going to be your own savior, but you are also allowed to have people help you. You are allowed to have support. You're allowed to have rapport with people. You are allowed to be supported by others. And I feel like that's what's coming through, is this healing, this energy of supportive figures in your life. And I think maybe the people who were supposed to support you, supposed to keep you safe, supposed to keep you healthy, I don't think they were able to do their job the way you would have liked them to. Okay, so this is sort of where, yeah, you were a loner, you always took care of yourself, but you were also always rescuing people, because I find that the people who want to be rescued the most are always rescuing other people. You do have this pioneer, which I feel like is raising this new earth or this new ground that you're exploring. You're going to be moving through into something new, which is also so funny because you have new love and you have asked for help. Did I not just say that, like, you're building new support systems? So yeah. And that's funny, you have 14, 41 was over here. You have a lot of 4s, and to me the number 4, and I believe in new numerology too, if I'm remembering my stuff correctly, number 4 is all about structure and all about balance and all about like support systems, right? Like if you think of like the 4 legs of a stool, it supports it, right? So 4 is a very, very supportive number, and you have 4 showing up everywhere. And I think it's also really funny that I'm suddenly seeing all these 1s. So like 41, 14, like it's 1, 1. You've got 14 over here, so it's like 1. Again, loner, 1. Loner, 1, alone. You've always sort of been on this one path, but now you're sort of seeking out that other 1, that person who will come together and make 2 and give you that structure, give you that foundation, give you that support that you are looking for. But then realizing, oh, I can receive support from more than one person. Okay, I can receive love from more than one person. Maybe there's only one romantic partner in my life or one sexual partner in my life, but I can receive support and love in all different phases and all different energies. You have asked for help over here. So what do you really need, and be willing to accept support? So that is very much, and this is so funny, but I'm looking at this card and we were talking somewhere over here about the Little Mermaid, and I'm like, look, Little Mermaid. Like, tell me that's not a little mermaid talking to her dad. And I talked about, oh my God, we talked about like healing wounds from the father, if you have them. You've also got new love over here. So this is definitely someone new. Again, we talked about meeting your soul family, meeting new people. This is something new. This is something that you haven't experienced before in the past. This is going to be something that comes through. And it's going to be new. But again, I feel like it's connected to this asking for help. Okay. So it's embrace an opportunity for love in your work aspects or for spiritual growth. So that's really interesting. Sometimes I resonate with the keywords and sometimes I don't, but that's what's happening down there. We're just going to stick with the new love. I'm not massively resonating with the at work part. I don't feel like they're going to be from work. I feel like it might be where you're sort of working on yourself, or something. I don't know. I'm just going to leave that because I feel like I'm going off track and I feel like I'm thinking with my mind instead of receiving messages. And when I do that, I just get off track. You have got, I am so hot for me. Okay. So this is about really, really loving yourself, really, really feeling yourself, really, really being, willing to explore yourself as well as others. My greatest desire desires me back. That's your little love message for today. And just trusting and knowing that, yeah, like your partner desires you, and your greatest desires, like the type of love that you want, it wants you too, okay? The partner that you want, they want you too. Exactly as I am right now, I am a sexy and delicious creature. Ta-da. Yep. That's you, all right? And I think you need to realize that, like realizing like there's this thing here with these desires that's where you need to ask for help, or that's where you need to like start expressing it to people that you feel safe with, to people that you feel and you resonate with. But letting people know like, hey, like I'm searching for a partner. Hey, do you know any way that you think would really connect with me? Hey, do you have anyone that you think would vibe with my energy? Because you know what, I am looking for that love. I am looking for that new love. I'm looking for new people to introduce myself to, friends and acquaintances. Like you're looking to invite love into your life and to explore your desires in more than just ways of romance, but also letting people know like, yeah, I am looking for a committed relationship. I am looking for that lover. I am looking for that life partner. I do feel like there's a little bit of more work that you guys have got to do with healing from some old stuff and some releasing of some stuff. But you will get, and like moving out of that loner archetype and out of that rescuer archetype into that liberator. But having that energy of having fun and exploring and checking things out. Yeah, you've got sexual freedom. You've got sexual freedom and you've got the gardener. So this is definitely something that you are growing, okay? So you're not going to see the fruits of your labor just yet. It is going to take a little bit longer, but like not that long. Don't be like, "Oh my god, it's going to take long." No. It's really not that long. Also, if you are looking to like explore sexuality or sensuality or like your desires in the bedroom, you are totally 100% allowed to do that. Okay? You are allowed to date. You are allowed to meet people. You are allowed to say to people like, hey, like this is sort of what I'm looking to explore. Like, do you want to explore that with me? I don't know. That's a little more brave than I am. But like, you know what? I have done it in the past. So when you meet the right people, sometimes you're just like, hey, here's what I'm curious about. Do you want to see if that works? Do you want to see if I like that? And just, I feel like the biggest thing for myself personally in my sexual freedom was getting to a place where I was able to ask for what I wanted, be able to no longer fall into this thing of trying to guess or predict what other people wanted, and really just being like, hey, like what do you like? What are your desires? What are you interested? Or moving away from sex, even just relationship. What are you looking for in a relationship? Are you looking for commitment? Because I do feel like for you, you are looking for that commitment. You want that safety. You want that security. You want to be able to know that your partner is your partner, right? Like that they're not off sleeping with like 15 other people or whatever. And maybe you're okay with that, but as long as it's consensual, as long as you both know what you're going into. So getting really honest in that as you're meeting new people, asking for what you want and not being attached to if they say yes or no. If you say, hey, like I really love getting dressed up and going on dates and going out dancing, and they go, you know what? Like I hate dancing. I hate dinner. I'm just looking for like a quick hookup in the car. And then you go, you know what? That's not what I'm looking for. Thank you so much, but that's not it for me. And you walk away, and that's fine. But if you go, oh yeah, that's fine, when that's not fine, and you're screaming inside, but you're like, any love is good. No, do not sacrifice what you want just because, well, maybe they'll change their mind. No, get super honest with yourself and with your partners. and grow that garden. Grow that garden of what you actually want instead of what you think everybody else wants, and how you think you will be accepted if you listen to other people, or if you give people what they want even if you don't want that. That's the distorted feminine coming through, okay? Whether you are masculine, feminine, trans, somewhere in between, I don't care. I love it all. But if you are falling into that passive role of giving people what they want when it's not what you want, and you know it's not what you want, but you think that if you become what they want, they will suddenly become what you want. No, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. Okay? I feel like I'm yelling at you, but you need to hear this, and you need to really get it through your head, that you giving up everything that makes you you to try and conform and to contort yourself to become what you think other people want, so that you think that this person who's your person, who's not your person, because if they were your person, they wouldn't be the complete opposite of you. You would have compatibility and it would fit. If you are not fitting with this person, but you're like, oh my God, this person is my no, that is distortion. That is that energy that we were talking about at the very beginning that is affecting you so deeply and like blocking you. It's messing with your head. It's messing with your energy fields. It's making you think that these people that are completely wrong for you are right for you. And that's what you get. So if you have been in like some back and forth, or you have been in love with someone, this is the distortion, right? Like if you have been in love with someone for like years, but they've never actually treated you right, and they've never committed to you, and they've never actually been what you want, or like maybe for like a week or a month or even like a year, like maybe at the beginning of the relationship they were, but now they are not it. I am sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, this fucking sucks, but they are not it, because your person would not be this hard to love. Okay? And maybe you're like, well, I love them anyways, even if they don't love me. Congratulations. That's amazing. Love them. They deserve it. Because here's the thing. Everybody deserves love. But here's the thing. You deserve love. If you are loving someone and they are not loving you back, and you are just causing yourself hurt, you are free to love them, but do not love them at the extent of loving yourself. Do not love someone else at the extent of breaking your own heart, because you're like, I just can't get over them. I just can't get over them. I just can't let them go. That is distortion. Okay? That is energetic sabotage. That is outside influencing energies that are affecting you that are not yours. Let them go. If you need help with that, again, that is my magic. That is my specialty. Cutting cords, releasing, getting rid of outside influencing energies and distortions and veils of illusion. That is all my shit. That is my stuff. That is my magic. If you need some, let me know. We can talk about it. Talk about a session. Go deeper. But yeah, your greatest desires desire you back. So if this partner is not desiring you back, but you've been doing this back and forth with them, they are not your partner, because your greatest desire desires you back. Your person desires you back. And if this person is not with you, they don't want you. I am so sorry, but this is your soul screaming at me. I'm just delivering messages from your soul. Your soul's like, oh, they're listening now. We're going to fucking tell them. Like, I am swearing. I try not to swear in these videos because YouTube doesn't like it. But like, you needed to hear it. I'm sorry. I love you. Okay. Go explore. Figure out what you really want. Ask for what you really want. Get that help when you need that help. Ask for that help when you need that help. You've got this. You've got this. And I feel like for some of you, you're going to go, yeah, I've done this. I've let that person go that I needed to let go of. Like, I've cut them off and I'm exploring. I'm moving forward. Yeah, you're advocating for yourself. Okay. You have gotten to this place where you are advocating for yourself. You've also got warrior on the bottom, but you are advocating for yourself. You are no longer letting yourself be pushed over, because again, you realize now how loved you are. You realize how deserving of love you are. And you can also, I just want to say this for a couple of you, like, you can explore your sexuality and sensuality by yourself. You don't need anybody else. You're like, oh, I'm waiting. No, you can do it by yourself. You can do it by yourself. And that's so beautiful. But at the very end, we've got the divine feminine, which in this deck represents the healed feminine. And I think that that's a beautiful place to end. It's like getting to this place where you are, you've also got luminosity at the end. So yeah, you're shining bright. But having this moment of going from that distorted feminine to realizing, like, no, like, you are, what did this one say? Exactly as I am right now, I'm a sexy and delicious creature. That's not going to show up, is that? There you go. But yeah, having that healed sense of self is also that asking and allowing yourself to receive and really receive. And by receiving, this is like you receiving that relationship of your dreams. All right. Thank you so much. Also, you are the love of your life. again, that card was already taken by pile 1, but I feel like it needed to come through for this pile as well. I love you. If you want to work on this or you have questions or anything like that, please let me know. We can always book a session. You can also leave a comment down below if you want a follow-up video, if you have more questions, or you're like, I want to explore this, or what do you see about this? Drop it down in a comment below, and if it resonates with a large enough group, I will make another video for it. I just threw this card off, so I'm going to read it to you again. I am so hot for me. Get hot for yourself. Fall in love with yourself, okay? But that's everything that's coming through here. I don't even really remember what this pile was about. I'm so sorry. It is already just left, which also means whenever I do that, I'm like, that was like that came through, it came out, it came through, and it's like, it's gone from my head. Those are always really powerful messages. So this is your reading. Thank you so much. If you feel like you want to leave some love, some comments, some hearts, or some a like or anything like that, if you want to subscribe, if you want to share me with your friends, go ahead. It really, really helps me. It really, really supports me. It makes me happy. It makes me feel loved, and we want to spread all the love and all the joy, and you are so worthy and you are so loved. I'm so happy that you are here. Thank you for watching. I am Laura. I will see you next time. I love you so much, and I just want you to love yourself so much. So anyways, I love you. Mwah. I will see you next time. Bye.